A very good morning, students. Hope you all will be ready for online learning. Okay. Now, last we have in last lecture we have learned about the historians and their sources. Half topic we have done. Okay. Now we will continue with the rest part. So last we have learned that most of the historians find out about the history with the sources of coins, textual records, manuscripts, inscriptions. Okay, so all these things they used to find out about the history. So now among all the sources, the textual records are very important. Now students, why textual records are important? Textual records are important because at that time people wanted to know about the life of the rulers, the life of the saints. The people wanted to know about the preachings of the saints. Okay, what the saints has preached. So to study all these things, to know about all these things, the textual records were necessary. So at that time the importance of textual records increased. And why the textual records increased? Because at that time there was no invention of printing press were not invented, and because of this the thing which they had to do is they have to copy down the books with the hand. Manual copying they have to do, and it's a very difficult task, students, because when you are going to copy your friend's homework also, then it should be a headache for you. But here here they are talking about to copy down the whole book, the whole textual record. So it's a very difficult task to copy down the book, and the person who copied down the books manually, they were known as the scribes. Those people who copied down the books manually, who copied down the manuscript manually, they are known as the scribes. Okay. So when the manuscripts and the books were copied down manually, so at that time some small variations will occur. How, students, variations will occur? If you, for example, if you copied down your friend's homework, then it might possible the word comes here or there, the word may be changed. Okay, so these type of small differences were there because you are copied down something. You are not printing, but you are copied down something. So some type of variations can come, some type of small variation will occur. So here also the small variations come, and the variation was such a way that after a long time, after a few years, this variation grew bigger, and the copied down book and the original version became totally different from each other. The original manuscripts and the copied down manuscripts became totally different. Okay, so here this thing is very important. Okay, it is a noticeable thing, it is a remarkable thing. And if somebody wanted to find the original text or original manuscripts, then very rarely the original manuscripts will be found, or it was very difficult to find out about the original manuscript because all the things were copied down, and that's why there were some small variations which took the form of big variations. Okay, so here historians also they had to also face the difficulty. If historians wanted to find the original text, what was written, so they had to read various types of versions, various type of copied book they have to read, and then only they could reach to the conclusion what actually it was written. Okay, so now when I talk about the person who copied down the books or who write down the manuscripts, so one very important name was there in the history, and that was the Ziauddin Barni. Ziauddin Barni was the important person who has written various books and who has written various manuscripts. Okay, he has written two manuscripts. two books he has written. Okay, and one book he has written in the 1653, and after 2 years he has written the other book. But it is in the history it is said that no one could find out about the original book till 1971. His first book, no one could find his first book which was written by him because of all these small variations, because his book were copied down by the different type of scribes, that's why. Okay students, now in this topic you have to remember the name of the chronicler Ziauddin Barni. Here the chronicler, it means the person who wrote the different type of books and who wrote the different type of textual records. The person was known as the chronicler. So Ziauddin Barni is very important name. You have to write down that name, or you if you want to note down that name, you can note down. Okay, now the next topic student we are going to learn over here is new social and political groups. Now group, it means the number of people, more than 2 to 3 people, they are known as the group of people. So new social and political groups. So here we will talk about the 1000 years time. So the period between 700 to 1700, this period was a very crucial, a very challenging period for the historian. Why? Because a variety of new invention occurred during this time. A variety of what, students? A variety of new invention. New inventions like what? New inventions like a Persian wheel. Wait students, I will show you the image of the Persian wheel, how Persian wheel look like. As you can see, this is the Persian wheel. This is the Persian wheel. Okay, can you see this, students? Persian wheel. Okay. So a variety of invention was occurred during this period, during 700 to 750. So the invention like a Persian wheel, the spinning wheel, which was useful in the weaving process to make the clothes. Okay, then firearms to combat the war. So all this invention done during this period. Okay, and some of the food crops also invented. Food crops like the people started to grow the wheat and barley. Okay, tomatoes, potatoes, chilies, all these things were introduced by the people. Okay, some of the beverage crops, students. Now which were the beverage crops? So beverage crops which can it means the food items which can we drink. So here the two beverage crops were introduced, tea and coffee. Okay, so new type of food items, new type of crops, new type of beverages were also introduced during this period. So when people move from one place to other, they also share the common ideas. They also brought new ideas from the other land. Okay, so it was a period of social and economical changes. Okay, and this I am saying because of the people had started to move from one place to other in search of the better opportunities. So they were brought some new ideas from the other land. Okay, so the people, when the economic ideas, when the new culture will come in our country, so the people started to travel from one place to other. Okay, one such group, students, listen carefully. The people, those who travel from one place to other, there were various groups who travel from one place to other, and Rajput was one of this. Rajput means what? Rajput word basically derived from the Rajputra. Rajputra, it means the son of kings, the son of the rulers, the son of rajas. They are known as the Rajputra. Basically they were the warriors or Kshatriya. Okay, and these people were famous. These people were famous for their valor, for their sacrifice, for the country, for their region. They were famous for this. They were also the Rajputs. Will not only the kings, but Rajput can only be the will not only the kings students, but Rajput may be the soldier. Rajput may be the commander. Okay, anyone can be the Rajput, maybe a soldier, commander, kings, okay, whatever, but they were famous for their valor and their sacrifice. Okay, now apart from Rajput, some other groups were also there. Some other groups, it means some other people, some other caste were also there, like Marathas, Sikhs, Ahoms, Jats. This all the people were there apart from the Rajputs. Students, be careful. I am saying the name apart from Rajput, the caste which are not the Rajputs, Marathas, Sikhs, Ahoms. Okay, these all are the apart from Rajput. Now during that period, the population were increased, and because of the increased population, the people had to feed the increased population. That's why they have to, and the one more thing was, student, the land was limited, so they have to within that limited land they have to feed all the people. So in order to do that, they have to cut the forest, and in the forested area they have to do the agriculture. So when they cut the forested, when they cut the forest areas, so over there the people who are living in the forest area, they were called as the forest dwellers. Okay, so the life of the forest dwellers changed. Okay, and they have to migrate to the other places. They have to shift the places. Why, students? Because their original land was forest, and this original land was being taken away by the kings. Okay, and by the other people. So now society became complex. How the society became complex? Because now earlier these forest dwellers were not the part of the society, but now they also became the part of the society. Now they have to pay the taxes, okay, and they will work under the rich farmers. So the gap between the society increased, the economic gap increases, okay, and they have dominated by the priest, by the kings, by the rulers, okay, by the temples. They have dominated by all these people, and they also had to pay the taxes. So here the gap between the rich and poor class people increased. Okay, so society become differentiated. So now jatis, the concept of jati introduced. Different type of jatis introduced. Okay, now jatis, what about the jati? Jati, it means caste. So jatis have their own rules and regulations. Jatis have their own rules and regulation, according to which all people have to do, all people have to behave. Okay, and these the rules and regulation which were formed by the jatis were implemented by the elders or by the head of the jati panchayat. Okay, and jatis had to follow their own rules and regulation. Apart from this, jatis had to follow the rules and regulation of the villages, and above the village there will be a state. So the jatis also had to follow the rules and regulation of the state also. Here this thing I will explain you with the help of the picture. Students, see, this is the, can you see this? Here the jatis, they have to follow their own rules and regulation. Apart from this, they have to follow the rules and regulation of the villages. Apart from this, they have to follow the rules and regulation of state. It means all the rules and regulation will be followed by jatis, villages as well as state. Clear? So student, that's it. I request you all, please revise all this content, all this topic which we have done till now. Okay, so you can remember all those things when you come to school. Thank you so much.